We know that leading church leaders and elders are at the moment trying to broker peace between the president and his deputy. And so about 2 days before the controversial Friday, October 16th meeting at Manyani, where the president had a cabinet meeting, I heard a very compelling rumor. I believe some of you heard the same rumor, that the Savo retreat, now don't get confused, this is all the same general area. And in any case, the initial announcement for this meeting said Savo retreat. The very compelling rumor indicated that this was a bonding session, that after this session, the president and his deputy would bury their differences and emerge more united than ever. And so naturally, as Friday arrived, there was a lot of anticipation. We're all sure there was going to be some very big news coming out of the Savo area on Friday. What emerged instead was a protocol controversy that in fact Kenyans are still discussing. Because when the president's chopper landed at Manyani, at the Kenya Wildlife Services Law Enforcement's landing strip, he was warmly welcomed by internal CS Fred Matiangi instead of the deputy president, who was also present. Instead of a bonding session, it was business as usual. I want us to take careful note of something else. The source of the photographs highlighting this controversy, they did not come from an independent media house somewhere. No! Instead, they came from, wait for this one, the president's press unit. I'm sure we all know that one of the main reasons for presidential press unit is to edit out embarrassing, inappropriate clips or photographs. In other words, the photographs and video clips distributed to the press all have to be approved at the highest possible level, which can mean only one thing and one thing alone. The president's handlers wanted us to see this. But why? Surely there has to be a reason. So what is it? Now we shall come back to that later on in this show, and we will attempt to answer that question conclusively. Now historically, nothing good comes out of the Manyani area. Nothing good has ever come out of major events in the Savo area, historically. And naturally I knew this when these rumors broke. And so I was waiting with bated breath for this bonding session. Now let us take a minute to brush up our geography so that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. The KWS Law Enforcement Academy in Manyani, where all this drama unfolded, is not far from an area called Ngaindethia. That comes from the Kamba language, and it means simply, God help me. In the old days, traders coming in from Mombasa, the coast, traveling into the interior, had to pass this area, and it was the most dangerous stretch of the whole route. And many of the traders using this route were from the Kamba community, hence the name, God help me in Kamba, Ngaindethia. This area, close to the Manyani prison, is also only 45 minutes from Mtito. If you have traveled by road between Nairobi and Mombasa, most probably you stopped over at Mtito. It is roughly the halfway mark between Nairobi and Mombasa. Now, Mtito is also from the Kamba language, and it has a chilling meaning. It means field or forest of vultures. What? Now all this of course tells you a story. Gai Ndethia, or God help me, is linked to the field of vultures, Mtito. And to cap it all, this area is not very far from the place where the railway line, the building of the railway line in the 18th century, had to stop. Why? Because of the man-eating lions of Savo. And I can tell you many other stories of what has happened in this area in the past, including the raids by shifter bandits in the 60s, in Mtito, etc., etc. But I believe I've already driven home my point. Historically, nothing good has come out of this area. And that includes horrific road accidents in many stretches of the Nairobi-Mombasa road, close to this area. And so it would have been very nice to change the story of this area with a historic bonding session. But alas, those who understand spiritual matters and how an area is affected spiritually will know that that is very wishful thinking. But amid all the controversy over the protocol, one would think that maybe it was a diversionary tactic. There is a bigger story in this Manyani cabinet meeting. Cabinet meetings are usually held in State House. And as far as I know, you can correct me, this is the first ever cabinet retreat in the history of our country. And that is why the rumor about a bonding session was quite convincing. And so we have to ask the question, why hold a cabinet meeting in a remote location very far away from Nairobi? In fact, closer to Mombasa than to Nairobi. Because it's only 45 minutes from Manyani to Voi. I believe what was being looked for here was secrecy. To protect the innovations, the tech innovations that have enabled the government to develop a very interesting system, IT system, which is linked to the Huduma number, and to enable the cabinet to deliberate over highly sensitive and confidential issues linked to the same. They say walls have ears. And I guess that should include walls inside State House. It is instructive that the agenda of this event was not revealed until the very last minute. And that is why rumors like the bonding session took hold. Clearly, it was very important that this particular cabinet meeting would have no leaks at all. And by the way, it wasn't a long cabinet meeting. So my guess is that announcements were made and instructions given with very little, if any, discussion. Now back to the Deputy President question. Now it is important to realize that actually the Deputy President had an engagement that clashed with this particular meeting. I believe somewhere in Muranga, which would suggest that the Deputy President was not expected at this event initially. And so the arrangement to have Matiangi welcome the President, receive the President, was made well in advance. But of course this would have easily been changed when the Deputy President actually showed up. But it wasn't. I believe the main reason was to divert attention away from other questions that would have been asked about this event. Some smart person saw the opportunity and decided to make full use of it. And of course they succeeded big time. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.